What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
We are here as a result of the Chapel Hill shooting that took 3 of our heroes. Dia Barakat, 23-year-old dentist who was aspiring to lead a voyage over to Syria and help the Syrian refugees, as along with his wife, newly married 1 month ago. 1 month ago. And that is her name, Yusr. She was also a victim of this tragedy, along with her sister, 19-year-old Razan al-Salha. 3 of our heroes taken as a result of hate.
Black lives do not matter in the eyes of those people who are racist in America. We have to make them understand that we stand in solidarity with all oppressed people. We stand in solidarity for the rights of immigrants, for the rights of blacks. Black lives matter, all lives matter. And we say to the America that we do not want this racism to pervasively destroy the peace and security in America. We ask you, the press, to do your job, to be fair, impartial, and just. But of course, you are taking your biddings from the corporations, and the corporations are taking their biddings from the capitalists, and the capitalists want to keep us all divided and fighting amongst ourselves. We have to stand unified and united on the issue that there's a global conspiracy. The war on terror is a war against us.
It's been 4 days since 3 beautiful young people, Yusr Abu Salha, Razan Abu Salha, and Dia Barakat, were gunned down in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, by a terrorist. Yeah. And it was a hate crime. Yeah. Because hate crimes take place every day against Muslim people in this country. And hate crimes take place every day against black people and Latino people in this country. It's only yesterday that an Islamic school was torched, was set fire in Houston, Texas. For every murder, there are 100 other attacks and abuses that never even make the newspapers. But this was a hate crime. It was not about parking, like the media says. The media, what was the sin? What was the crime of these 3 beautiful young people who were murdered? In the eyes of their killer, who got his view of the world from Fox News and CNN, it was that they had embraced, and MSNBC and the newspapers in North Carolina, it was they had embraced a religion, a faith that has been embraced by hundreds of millions of oppressed people around the world, from Indonesia to Africa to India to Black America, like Malcolm X, who was murdered 50 years ago next week. Their crime was being born in a part of the world, being Palestinian and Syrian, being born in a part of the world that has so much of the world's oil and gas, the world's most profitable resource, a part of the world that the Pentagon considers strategic. We cannot separate the hate crimes promoted by Islamophobia in this country from the war the U.S. state apparatus and its agent Israel are waging against Muslim people all over the world.
The blood of those young Muslim lives in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, is on the hands of CNN and Fox and the New York Times and all of the rest of the capitalist corporate media.
Stop hiding these hate crimes! CNN and New York Times! CNN and New York Times!
We demand that the media be fair and balanced with their reporting. We demand that they stop giving media platforms to racist, anti-Islamic misinformation experts like Emerson, Pipes, and Spencer.
And I found in New York
You know, I've heard how racist the police are here, and I actually had an experience right here with a police officer. There was a cop right here as we're standing, and he was yelling at some Muslim women, telling them to hurry and hurry, and yelling in their face. And I screamed at him to calm down. At which point he said to me, if you want them to calm down, then you make them go where I want them to go. And he called them these people. At which point I called him a racist pig, and that didn't go over well. But Allah yarhamhum, these three fallen angels, these three fallen comrades, do not represent only a hate crime, but a larger picture of Islamophobia, and a larger picture of racism, a larger picture of colonialism, of imperialism, of Eurocentrism. And we want Fox, CNN, and everyone in the world to know that we will no longer take it. We are the religion of peace and justice.
This is a country that is founded on racism and genocide and slavery. And it has been a constant struggle to push back that racism that is just part of the society. And it's been pushed back again and again through unity.
I know there are people like you following behind me. I know that if a hate crime were to happen against me, you people will come. I see these three amazing Muslims and I say, when I heard that they died and they were killed execution style, I cried. I cried because what if it were me? What if it were my newlywed brother or my newlywed sister? Would you people be there? Would Fox News, CNN, and New York Times hide it? Or would they give them the justice they deserve?
Double standard is the name when the victim has a Muslim name.